Hey, what's going on? Walkman 45 here. So the Barlow knife has existed since around 1670. At that time, it's believed Obadiah Barlow first created this knife. His grandson John would later really start to crank out production and export it. And there are 100,000 videos on YouTube about this enigmatic knife. But the gist of it is that it's a jackknife with an elongated bolster about 1/3 of the total handle length. I'm going to include a few links and hopefully be able to insert some photos from other websites on this knife. Knife Thoughts has an awesome write-up on them. A lot of the time this knife has a clip point blade along with a pen blade, but there are a bunch of examples with just the main blade. Case makes both variants. So this is a pretty neat one I got for a couple bucks at a flea market. It's made by Stag Ireland. So it's got Delrin handle. It's pretty cheap, but good walk and talk. Nice snap. So that's a typical traditionally sized Barlow. And then you have two other sizes. You have the Grandaddy Barlow. This one is a musket by Remington. So this one also has jigged Delrin handle, covers, scales, and you can see how much larger it is. I mean, the handle is almost the same size as the entire other knife. And then this Northwoods Madison Barlow, I don't know that it's called a Daddy Barlow, but I would, I guess, call it pretty close size-wise to one because it's smaller than Grandaddy significantly. So I would say the Northwoods is about a Daddy Barlow. And then you get the Grandaddy. Here's another Grandaddy. This is a Master Barlow from Novelty Knife Co. Pretty cool in that super cheap but great action with a half stop. And again, this is a full Grandaddy. And then, so kind of neat. These are usually under, I don't know, 20 bucks, 10 bucks. But for what they are, I mean, they're pretty solid. All right, here's a couple from Berenson. The jigged faux stag. I mean, it's bone, but this one's stainless. And these have a sheep's foot blade with a deep swedge. Made in USA, Berenson, Alabama. And this one is 4th gen carbon steel. I really like these knives, and I like Berenson a lot as the years go by. I really appreciate their build quality, especially for the price. And that kind of goes along with this hobby. You know, I'm working on a few project knives here and there. And, you know, for instance, I'm just cleaning this guy up and then it was missing a shield, so I bought some shields, but the shield is too big for what was originally there. So I had to carve out the cover, and then just for the hell of it, I added pins, kind of faux pins, but I have a much better appreciation for even the cheap so-called junk knives out there, when you start trying to fix some of these, it doesn't matter if they're older or newer knives, even just cleaning them up and seeing how things work, and trying to recreate that with hand tools versus the machines that these are all stamped together originally as, really, at least for me, gives me more appreciation. This is a Rough Rider Reserve Barlow with some sort of micarta. It's pretty funny that they both have the arrowhead symbol on them. I really like this knife. It's a cheap China-made knife, but the spear point, I think, is so good looking. Match strike, nail nick. It's D2. Micarta handle, useless. Lanyard hole, lanyard ring, but just really put together well. I may get the Grandaddy Barlow. I think it's like chili Barlow, something like that, because it's got like a red micarta and then black and then the bolster. I may get that just because this is put together so well. Look at these rings on the bolster, and obviously being a single blade, you know, it's so much thinner. So real quick. So you can kind of see the difference here. So this one's about 10 millimeters. And then the double is, you know, 14. And then what's the Madison? Yeah, it's about 10. So yeah, the single blades are about 10 millimeters, which is about 0.4 inches or so. And then another cool one is this Colonel Coon. I believe these were made by Queen Cutlery. Bone covers. These are very snappy. You know, another unfortunate loss of the last, I don't know when these went out, 20 years ago. Colonel Coon. Stainless steel blades, but wonderful. Yeah, I got so lucky, and this was like a once in a lifetime find for me at a flea market. And here it is next to so it's a little bit larger than the kind of traditional Barlow, which I like better. This is definitely like more of a boy's knife, jackknife. This is at least I can get my hand around. And here's it next to the Madison. The Madison is cool. I think the secondary prices on these are just outrageous. Kind of mad at myself for paying it. At the same time, I did want to try it out to see if it was what it was all hyped up to be. And again, it's not Knife Ship Free or GEC's fault. It's just the secondary. I wish their numbers, they would, get their production numbers up. I know a lot of us would have at least one of every model, but they're just not available. So it's just the unfortunate first world problem we have to deal with. All right. So the Barlow knife, I don't know why I kind of got sucked into a handful of videos recently, and just was really kind of interested in picking up a few. I'd really like to try a case. Let me know if the case Barlows are worth it. I kind of like the carbon gray bone handle. Again, they're pretty pricey. They're like 75 bucks. It's 2025. Paying 75 bucks for a Barlow. I know it's bone handle, but it seems like a lot. So let me know if it's worth it. I would say if you're looking for one of these, don't bother like getting upset or like spending money on it. It's a cool knife, but as I pointed out in another video, it's not worth like 200 bucks. There's no way. It's a 1095 blade. It's cool Coco Bolo, but you know, these are cheap knives at the end of the day. They really shouldn't be costing that much. But anyways, cool pattern. Really like the Barlow. One of the oldest patterns, you know, along with the Sod Buster. I'll do another video on that. I think I got a couple more of those en route. All right. Walkman 45 out.